Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the COTA Speed Tour. We are at Jonathan Green's home track, ladies and gentlemen.
I live in a hammock up there.
Yeah, he hosts a radio show here, does all the Formula One races here, so it's really cool to be here with Jonathan Green. We haven't been in the booth for a while together.
You know, it's so funny. When they built this circuit, I've been doing world championships, whether it be MotoGP, whether it be Formula One, et al. For 30 years. And I finally moved to Austin when my parents retired here, and I was still on World Superbike duty. I was still going around the world, 22 countries a year. And they told me, a friend of mine called me up and they went, they're going to build a Formula One track in Austin. I said, don't be ridiculous.
And now look at it. It's a world-renowned racetrack.
I know.
So this is Group 10 and International GT. Group 10 is like ex-Trans Am cars, ex-stock cars, GT cars that all turn about the same lap. We have a pickup truck out there in this group. And then we've got IGT, so we're hoping that Ken Fengler will join us. You're seeing a lot of the IGT cars here in these Porsche Cup cars as they come up. Two different styles of Cup cars in this. We've got NASCAR Cup cars and we've got Porsche Cup cars. Starting in the pole in this beautiful AMG, and he was out west with us at Laguna Seca and Sonoma, is Rich Marzial. Then Kyle Washington second in a Porsche GT3 Cup car. Manuel Gil del Real was also with us at Sonoma and Laguna, Porsche GT3. Mustafar Bakir in a Porsche GT3 Cup. Woody Witchard in a Porsche Cayman Club Sport. He was with us at VIR. David Hampton has been with us basically the whole season. So cool to have him out here with AR Motorsports and Porsche Cayman Club Sport starting 6th. Maria Mejia, always a stalwart in the International GT. Runner-up, I believe, in the points in her championship in IGT last year in the Porsche Cayman GT4. Stephen Thomas in a Porsche Cayman Club Sport. Ross Poole starting 9th in a Porsche Cayman Club Sport. Joseph Petkis in a Porsche Cayman Club Sport starting 10th. Jonathan Brown. Any relation to Jonathan Green?
Yeah, deep down.
Yeah. Jonathan Brown is the Porsche Cayman GT4.
He's the old-color version of me, yeah.
Then Javier Leos in a Porsche Cayman Club Sport. Now we get to the NASCAR. So we got Rudy Revac in the Pontiac Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah.
Renee Molina in a Challenger TA2. Then we got Alan Davison from FPEC. Right there, that gray Mustang is Alan Davison, FPEC. Of course,
I've seen that car. That's nice.
The Chicken Nugget Man. His company, FPEC, makes the chicken nuggets that you eat. Food processing equipment company. Harry Hinkle in a Porsche 992 GT3 Cup car. Harry, no offense, but I think you missed your calling. You should be, with a name like Harry Hinkle, that should be in a stock car. Walter Reed in a Howe TA2, Michael Zock in a Chevrolet Camaro, Randall Green in that beautiful Ferrari Maranello. Then we've got Rito Bauman in a Volkswagen Jetta 2.0, Kurt Vogt in that pickup truck. Kurt Vogt, you're in a Chevy. I don't know if you're allowed to be in a Chevy, because he's the president of the Shelby Club and does Cobra Automotive, but he's in a Chevy Silverado. Claire Schwendeman in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Jacob Hilton in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Sam LeCompte, Chevy Silverado, another pickup truck. Rodney Rustin, Monte Carlo. I'm trying to go fast. Salvatore Santolucci, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Herb Hilton.
You got time.
In a Dodge Charger. Doug Hilton in a Chevy Fusion. Dan Hilton in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And Jonathan, I'm sure you've heard of Paris Hilton, right?
Yes.
Well, all four of these Hiltons are in no way related to Paris Hilton.
I see. So it's sort of, I got you. Are they related to the Holiday Inn in any way?
I don't know. I don't know. But, Penske Hilton was big into racing, so we don't know. But
I'm presuming, though, that these Hiltons are related, right?
I believe so, yeah. Herb Hilton big in CVAR, and I know him always in a yellow Mustang, so it's going to be interesting to see him out there in a Dodge Charger. But here they come to take the green flag. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hear the world-famous Jonathan Green say, and away we go.
Absolutely. We are getting 2x2. That's the idea. So tighten up the field. Coming into 20, this is the last corner. And as they come out of this corner, the marshals see that they are line astern and 2x2, he will let go of the green flag in a moment, and we will be racing up the 133 feet that is Big Red. And away we go. Group 10 and International GT, and it is the 56 of Rich Marzal who leads them up the hill for the first time.
Beautiful group of Stuttgart. It's good to see this many Stuttgart Cup cars, but because Quirt is here, David Hampton is here. They have the yellow banner going across the windshield, so really cool to see them. There's that Volkswagen Jetta 2.0. But, man, Rich Marzial. But then that's his...
Whoa! Where are you going?
That's Manuel, Rich's good friend, coming back through. He's got to have a safe re-entry and no harm, no foul there, Jonathan.
Here come your stock cars then. They've got a second. They've split the starts. And here comes NASCAR here at COTA. And, of course, now that's a big part of COTA because we actually have a Cup Series and Xfinity and truck race here at COTA. And into turn one they go.
Got 2 trucks. And then they've got Tony Stewart Smoke there in the Home Depot car.
Jeff Gordon's out there in the 24.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Absolutely.
We got some big names out here today. It looks like, and then that front Army car, that just kind of looks like Joe Nemechek to me.
Yes, that actually has got, I went and had a look at that car. It is a Nemechek car.
So we got front row Joe, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Clint Boyer's out there as well.
So, what else could you want here, ladies and gentlemen? 2 different kinds of Cup racing. Remember, if you are joining us on the Speed Tour chats here on YouTube, let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. But I love this Sunoco Camaro from the Trans Am era.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Number 46.
Yeah, nice.
Michael Zock.
Prepared that car. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, quite an eclectic group, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like this car right here and that Porsche Cup car, they do similar lap times.
Oh, round goes the 46. Not what the doctor ordered. That's his number 2.
And who would have thought that a Porsche came and that huge Camaro comes side by side and the Camaro takes the spin?
I still think it's a little greasy out there right now because of the wet we've had. And I'd like to see a replay of that, but sadly, he's got turned around. Back onto the main straight they come then. The AMG has headed off into the distance. And to be fair, he was some 3 seconds ahead. Actually, no, he was more than that. Yeah, so about 3 seconds ahead in qualifying. So we expected this. Good to see the fans out there in the stands. That's on the inside, on the paddock side, and that's a great place to watch. Get your binoculars looking up the hill.
I love it. Matthew climbing up the stairs to get that shot of the fans. This is a spectator event. You can get tickets at speedtour.net as they come here through the Cube 3 S's. I actually call it the Cube 3 Turn 3 S's and beyond. And now we're joined by the International GT as we follow along International GT, the owner, Ken Fengler. Good. It was a good start. Rich Marzial has just kind of pulled away, but the Porsche Cup cars, and I was joking that we've got 2 different kinds of Cup cars out there right now.
Yeah, it was a good start. Yep, and watch it. And then the big concern is some of the other things that happen mid and backpack, and I did see some contact between as they say in a Le Mans telecast, a Camaro, a much heavier Camaro, all right, and a Porsche. And I have to say, my unbiased thing was that it was an awful optimistic of sticking his nose in at the apex and catching the door of the Porsche. But the Porsche continued on, and no harm, no foul, and hopefully he can continue on. But good racing so far.
We were smiling that the great Camaro was, a mighty muscle car, and that it still didn't manage to muscle a Porsche out of the way.
David Hampton there from Hampton Lumber out in the Pacific Northwest, running International GT and our GT Championship in Trans Am. Has been with us almost every race this season. Just a great guy to have around. A very accomplished guitar player.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Cool. Yeah. Being a music fan, enthusiast, I appreciate that. So
he has a replica of the Wolf, the Grateful Dead guitar, and is in a Grateful Dead cover band.
Oh,
and
really?
Singer, too. I got to say, he's also a singer.
I'm
so our band is increasing, Ken.
I'm surprised he wasn't wearing black this week in memory of,
We're both drummers.
Yeah,
we're drummers. I knew there was something wrong with Ken.
But in the Grateful Dead, they've got 2 drummers.
That's
so we can play some Grateful Dead stuff.
Genesis had 2 drummers.
Yeah.
Whoa,
hey!
That's way out there. Everybody
He did that last lap as well.
Yeah, well, they're going to call something on that. The stewards aren't going to be happy with that. You get one. You get a mulligan, but I don't know how many that is. So.
That is Kyle Washington there, and then Woody Witchard behind him. David Hampton coming to the inside of Woody Witchard, and we were talking about a lot of Stuttgart Cup cars here. I love seeing the Stuttgart Cup cars, and you can tell by that yellow banner going across the windshield.
Yeah, well, as you know, we're still in a fight for the Stuttgart Cup Championship. The Mission Foods GT3 Cup trophy. It went on to Tommy Ballister. Tommy, if you're watching or listening, congratulations to you on your championship. And but this particular race weekend will decide the Stuttgart Cup Championship. So we've got really the Caymans are forefront.
Well, my favorite, I know we're not supposed to say favorites, but Maria Mejia, I just love her energy in the paddock and just so much fun and all the cars here with Quirt Racing. So I'm hoping that she has a good outing this weekend.
Yeah, this is her home track. So she's got some family here. They did a lovely photo shoot. If you go on her Facebook site, she got a great shot of the Quirt Racing cars out there on track. And, as you say, a great enthusiast. Our last year's Stuttgart Cup champion. And, she's not only high-powered in the car, she's high-powered in the business world, and good for her. And she's a great personality and I think, team leader of them. So great to see them here at the home track here in Texas.
And we've seen great shots there through Mission Foods Turn 1. Juan Gonzalez, unfortunately not here with us, but hopefully he's having a great time in his prototypes at Daytona this weekend. And it's great to have Mission Foods on board with us here at the Speed Tour and especially International GT. This is such a treacherous turn here. You said 15, Jonathan?
Yeah, 15 is really tough. Like you can see, some people take that wide line and then turn back, and that's a good move because you get good grip and good, grunt out of the corner. But if you get the inside line, then you're stuck to try to get back on line. Because it slows you right down. This is a tough corner too, 19. It's a lot more off camber than it looks from above, and it's easily sort of sucks you into going wide. And look, same with 20.
So I'm hearing white flag next time by on car 5-6.
Yeah, that's our leader.
Beautiful car, that AMG Mercedes. He was with us at Laguna Seca in Sonoma, as with Manuel Gil de Real, who went off through the S's first lap, but seemed to gather it back up.
Yeah, I saw that. He did a little off-road excursion, taking the scenic route, so to speak, but made it back safely on track.
And here's a great battle. Look at this.
Interesting group.
Mustang, Camaro, Porsche. That Camaro's coming back.
Yeah, he's the one that spun. Fire breathing. Seen a few 46s today. Connor Roberts was sporting that number. Last lap then for the AMG GT3. And he's really stolen a march on the rest of the field. Sub 10 seconds almost, 9.5. There he is. Beautiful looking car too.
It rotates very well.
Yeah. It's far more nimble than it looks from the outside.
Yeah, it's got that long nose.
It makes you look as though it's a bit slow to get round corners, but I've seen these win in the GT World Cup at Macau many times.
Yeah, the design to me reminds me of A, Viper, okay, and B, the Panos, okay.
Yeah, good call.
All long, snouted cars, with a short back, and I thought it was much different. Of course, it's a throwback to their 55 Gullwing.
Right.
It is a tribute to that styling and design. And when they first came out with it, I didn't think it, like you say, it would be a fantastic race car, but it's been very successful.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Beautiful. I think it's a beautiful car as well.
It is actually, yeah. And you get up close to it, it just exudes speed, doesn't it? It's got an ominous look to it.
I don't know if we could consider that a silver arrow or a chrome arrow.
Yeah, really. Very bright silver. But
Of course, as you say,
6 point plus leaders definitely gets you down straight away and gets you around. But as you say, car is very nimble in the corners, and obviously Rich has a good setup on this car and able to get around. I think it's fastest lap so far this weekend in the 9s. He had previously gone a 10. So
and he's a good driver too.
He is, yes, absolutely.
It's interesting, Ken, you mentioned how it's a throwback in many ways to the Mercedes of 1955. And of course, anybody involved in Mercedes will know that they pulled out of motor racing completely in 1955 from a crash at Le Mans that their cars were involved in, where several spectators were hurt and killed. And they said, right, we're out of motor racing.
We're out of motor racing, yes, for several years, yes. And, the safety equipment around them was not people were literally out of vehicles, thrown out, and, no seat belts and nothing. And we've come a long way to technology with that. So the safety aspect, we're very glad to see it.
Yeah, no question about it. And of course, since they came back to racing, and they came back in Group C, the likes of Schumacher and World Sports Cars, that led then to obviously coming back in Formula One, and again Schumacher leading that. And you saw the heady days of Formula One with Rosberg, Hamilton, and many others absolutely dominating Formula One with Mercedes. And now, again, they're back with sports cars and very much involved in motorsport along the way. But we're going to get another win here at the Circuit of the America for Mercedes as Rich Marcial comes out of turn 20. He was the pole, and he is going to take the checkered flag. There it is. And the AMG GT3 takes the win for Rich Marcial.
Great shots here. I love this about there's 50 feet where the car comes right at the camera position. Yeah. But look at this. Here we go. Joe Nemechek out there in the front. I believe that car is being piloted by Kurt Vogt. And then Sam Lecomte there in the concierge. And Claire Schwendeman is in the Tony Stewart car. So these two, Sam Lecomte and Claire Schwendeman, have been racing together for a long time. Yep. Both Central Texas. Dr. Claire Schwendeman is a neonatologist who works with premature babies. So we're always rooting for him. And then Kurt Vogt. I'm so surprised to see Kurt Vogt in a Chevy truck.
Yeah, he's a Ford guy. Yeah. The longest short story of it, Kurt is in my hometown of Wallingford, Connecticut. I spent the first 25 years of my life there, and I stop by and see him when I get up in that area. And, of course, he owns Cobra Automotive, which is obviously Ford, and Kurt, to me, is King Cobra. Okay, he's the king, but it is. See him in a Chevrolet.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is. You know, they have a wonderful shop preparing. He does for customer cars all over the world, and quality product, and a very good driver. Drives a Trans Am occasionally there's also, but good driver and a good competitor.
Great finish there between the two pickup trucks. I didn't think I'd say that at Circuit of the Americas. And then the Tony Stewart car of Claire Schwendeman. There's Alan Davison with the FPEC.com.
Yeah, you think the Home Depot livery would be on a truck. I don't know why. I just think I'm going to the garden center and loading that thing up with Home Depot products, okay? A couple of 2x4s and, some mulch, and away we go.
And it's funny you say that NASCAR, they're so loyal that if you like Tony Stewart, you'll go to Home Depot and you will not go to Lowe's.
Oh, that's
unless
true.
you're Jimmy Johnson fan.
I go to Lowe's. I'm a Jimmy Johnson fan.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Now, listen, we'll take a short break. More to come from our SVR.